verbal elation, stimulation, education. This is not with the MariJayne Maven. When we on the air, it's always a situation. Might talk about some litigation, might talk about some immigration, might talk about some politics. Never talking nonsense. It's who we are in this life. Watch and listen. It's a vibe. Watch it while you getting high, or you can listen while you drive. Just don't forget to subscribe. Roll up.
Welcome to the MariJayne Maven podcast with your host, the MariJayne Maven. I am the producer, the hubby. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Show us some love and click that subscribe button now. Don't forget to click the bell so you get notifications and click the like button on the videos.
And now, your host.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live installment of my mini pod, Sane with MariJayne. This is where it's not going to cover the same type of issues and topics, just a little bit. It may cross over a bit from the regular podcast, but this is just going to be kind of a mini episode. You all know that I can talk, so we're going to try to keep it to what is considered to be mini. But welcome, everybody. I hope that you're having a blessed month of October. I know it's been a little bit since we've done this mini pod, but I hope everybody's having a blessed latter part of the year. Can you believe it? We are in the last 3 months already. All freaking ready. So yeah, this episode is going to cover a couple of different things where, help of this beautiful, powerful plant helps to keep me sane. And this episode is, the tree, the fire, is sponsored by and provided by a sativa by Urban Zen. This is the Kim Reserve, a nice 34.71%. Now, you know that I'm an educator, so I'm not going to be one of those, that say that it's all about the THC percentage and content. But sometimes that is very attractive and you do need a little bit more, a little kick. I've had some fire 38% and haven't been that lit. I've had some 17% and been stuck. So it really, once again, I've talked about how, this wonderful plant works with your personal chemistry and your body chemistry. So it kind of depends. But this one I'm hoping helps, in keeping me sane because it's been one hell of a week. First, I want to start off with a little bit of, not a little bit, but it's a lot of sad news, and it's going to take us down a little bit. So definitely have your tree available to help bring you back up and get us back where we need to go. But I do have to give a shout out and more of a, unfortunately, rest in peace to 3 young individuals that we recently lost in our area, in the city of Sacramento. We had 12 different shootings just this past weekend, from Friday through Sunday. And unfortunately, one of those lives lost was a student of the hubby, a kid that I knew as well, who was full of energy and a spirit of just greatness. He had a big life ahead of him, and senselessly, we lost another young human being and another young Black man, unfortunately. And before anybody just says, oh, what did he do? What was the problem? He didn't do anything. This was a good kid, driving along, and unfortunately, his life was taken through gunshots. But 17 years old. So I do want to give a resounding and very heartfelt, deep rest in peace to Jalen B, and my condolences sincerely from the bottom of my heart to his family, and those that are close to him. He will be missed. We had another loss of a 9-year-old, so same condolences to her family, friends. Rest in peace to that young angel. And a 19-year-old young Black woman who was shot as well. So once again, unfortunately, our condolences from the bottom of our heart, and our thoughts and prayers, and healing energy is being sent out to your family and to all of those affected this weekend, especially those young 3 Black people. So wanted to, I couldn't start off without talking about that. Hence, another good reason why MariJayne helps to keep you sane. Now let's jump into the other bullshit. Our president, y'all president, not mine, y'all president, and the coronavirus. What I believe is karma. I believe this is the second time having it. I said that before. I think the man had it earlier in the year. We can see that he is obese. We can see that he is not in good health. And he definitely is somebody that would be in that high risk group. And then when you're hard headed and you don't believe, fat means greasy, then you're like him and you don't wear a mask. So what else is going to happen? What has happened? And I don't think that it's false. I don't think that it's a ruse created by our government. If you think that, hit me in the comments, DM me, email me, let me know your thought process on that. I know one of the very common ones is that, why not? He's trying to, deter away from the election and trying to get sympathy votes. It hurts him more than not for this situation, for him to be tested positive, for him to be in the hospital for not even 3 hours, but 3 days. It makes the United States look weak. It leaves us, open for any type of attacks because we're seen without our leader. No matter how we feel about him and whether or not we believe he's a leader and that he would lead us to any type of victory or, protection in the event that something happens, that is still very much the case. And that's how we can, be seen by other countries and, and those that are not our allies, which are a lot of places. So first and foremost, there is no benefit to him saying that he has coronavirus. Two, and I know that this reason can definitely be countered with an argument. But there is not just the 19, 20 people that they, introduce or that they say that have been affected by him. That's what the media wants us to know about. I am part of the media, so I'm going to tell you the truth. It is much more than that. It is about 108 people at this point because they're not talking about those individuals that maybe serve his food, somebody that does his mopping, his maid in that manner, somebody that doesn't have a high profile position or one that we're aware of. They've been infected as well. So the White House is the epicenter. Okay, it is a breeding ground, for 34%, I think, starting to work, a breeding ground for this coronavirus. And let's be honest, none of us have to be, infectious disease doctors, rocket scientists to know that viruses mutate. And you don't think that in the year almost that's been around, and we're pretty close to a year, that this hasn't mutated once or twice. The fact that we are trying to get back to normal, I understand that from the aspect of, the economy and getting people back to, on the road to recovery. I understand that, but it's not eradicated. It's not under control yet. The fall's coming up. All kind of, sicknesses come about in the fall and in winter, let alone the flu, common cold. This can all exacerbate and I think mutate this illness. So the fact that it's been spread from more than just the 18, 19, 20 people that we hear about is not surprising to me. It's very apparent. Number 3 as well, if you look at him and the thing that is very much put together was his return home. That was just like a trailer for a movie, they were trying to portray, which was a bunch of shit. So if any of you guys believe that, please, once again, hit me up. And please, I would love to understand your reasoning as to why you would be so bamboozled by a clip like that, to see him coming home and the fair and the everything that's coming along with it. When the man went and stood on the balcony, you could visibly see that he had a very hard time breathing. Why would he? He's not that good of an actor. He's not, I won't even say that good of an actor. He's not an actor in any capacity. So other than being a liar, which we can see through. So why and how would he be able to fake that? in my opinion, like I said, he's not a good actor. So how would he be able to do that? More importantly, why? That makes him look weak. That makes us look weak. That's more detrimental to the reelection and to him possibly being reelected, which let's all pray to the, sweet baby Jesus, the universe, whatever else, that does not occur. But that would be more of a detriment to him than to fake everything. So it's the table. We keep snapping here. Little noises. It's this table. So yes. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's a kind of a karma situation? Do you guys think that it's a hoax? If you do believe it's a hoax, let me know why. Let's talk about it. I'd love to find out, your opinion on it and your line of reasoning on that. That's what this is all about. And also you add to it how MariJayne's helping to keep you sane through this whole thing. So if you guys been watching the elections, or not the elections, but the debates for the elections, of course, we're being bombarded with all the commercials. I try not to pay attention because they are meant to be confusing. And if you don't know this, they are meant to be confusing to certain groups of minorities, to women, to a younger demographic that may not be familiar with the topics or the verbiage that they're using. So all I have to say about that, and all of the commercials and things that are just a barrage of them, do your due diligence, sit down with whatever source that you feel comfortable with, your source of information, fact check. There's so many different websites where you can fact check things, and find out what really is the truth and what works for you. Like I said, do your due diligence. That's all a part of voting. So being that I kind of jumped ahead because I started off with the other topic, I do want to right now kind of venture into what our quote for this episode is. I am going to still have quotes for the mini pods. This is just very, indicative of what we're talking about. So this is a quote by Plato. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Let that sink in. I'll wait. We know that. Think of the past 4 years. Very much so. Very much so. So that's pretty deep, but it's plain and simple. You don't participate, you are going to end up with leaders that are not fit to be leaders. We're living through that now, and we're hoping to stop this part of history and hopefully never repeat it. So kind of jumping it back around and talking a little bit more about what that quote means. And let me take a little bit of a sip because that 34.7%, a little bit of cotton mouth. So I do want to talk about somebody who I shouldn't have been as surprised as I was and disgusted as I am, but I am. So we want to talk about somebody who really needs that Plato quote at this time, would be Blueface, the rapper. Now, many of you may be like, girl, why even? Like, why are you surprised and why are you talking about this? And the reason why I feel like it's important is because there's probably, millions of others around his age, maybe a little bit older, who feel the same way. And it's baffling to me, to say the least, especially because he is somebody who should definitely want to at least protect his money that he's getting. And the more that you're involved in politics and voting, the more control you have over that. But obviously he likes giving away his money. So Blueface, if you happen to watch this, hit me up. I will give you my Cash App. Feel free to send me any money that you're just willing to give away, because you don't want to participate in the vote. That sounds fair. So Blueface, the headline here that I'm getting from hiphopdx.com, one of the many places that you can find this story. Blueface refuses to rock the 2020 vote. Quote, I'm not at that stage in my life. What stage is that? Grown folk stage? Making a decision, being a part of something imperative that, your ancestors and people, let's not even connect it to your ancestors, but people 50, 60, 70 years ago were fighting for that's the stage of life you're not in. Okay. So Blueface says he won't be voting in the upcoming presidential election. During an appearance on Real 92.3, The Cruise Show, the West Coast rapper made it clear he won't be following Snoop Dogg's lead to cast a ballot in the 2020 election. Hell nah, he told Jay Cruz when asked if he would be voting. When questioned why, Blueface bluntly replied, "I don't know." That's a reason to not do things. He then clarified he wasn't anti-voting, contradictory, but didn't think he should participate. "I just ain't really, I don't know. I ain't in the stage of my life," he explained, quote, end quote. Blueface added, "Look at my face. You think they give a fuck about who I vote for? Come on, man." So not the point, Blueface. You know, nobody said when you came out rapping off beat and making a completely different style that, oh, we shouldn't do that. I'm not at that stage in my life to listen to music that really doesn't make any sense. But nobody did that. Nobody did that. They became fans. You became somebody of influence, and you are of influence because you are a Black man with money. And no matter who they are, who cares what they think, you should know that you are helping to make a better foundation, hopefully for your child that you have, any future children, for you now. The fact that you can drive down the street in wherever you live, because most people, let's say most people do move to Calabasas or somewhere in the valley. So let's say you move to somewhere a little nicer, where they may not know who Blueface is, or even if they do, the cops don't give a shit. You know what can help to stop those things from happening? Voting. So it's a stage of life you should be in. And I hope that the rest of you understand that. It doesn't matter if the bigger issues are something that you can't relate to. There are tons of smaller issues that stack up to those bigger issues, and they impact your life. So if you have any inkling of anything in the voting realm in this 2020 vote that can change and impact your life for the better, get out there and vote. I don't believe it's too late to register, so we'll make sure that we put that information in. But I believe pretty sure you can still register. So before we wrap up here, I do want to talk about a couple of different things. First and foremost, I want to talk about another product that I like to highlight here. This is something that was provided to me, gifted to me by somebody that I've known since he was like 5-6 years old. He knows who he is. Shout out. He provided me this green canna balm. You know that I'm huge about topicals. You know that I make my own. And so any business that I can support that provides good, clean, topicals like this and good product, I'm going to definitely, support and highlight. So as you can see, support medical marijuana. This is made with coconut oil, eucalyptus oil, a couple different other oils. I won't give away the whole recipe here. Pulverized cannabis, and I do believe he used a little bit more of hemp, the hemp plants in this, more than like CBD. I believe so. That's what the gentleman told me. But it's really good, guys. It smells great. It's not too heavy. So if you guys are interested, hit me up or hit them up on Instagram. It's Green Canna Balm. That's what you can find them at on Instagram, Green Canna Balm. So actually, maybe I should have read this here. Our 2-ounce cannabis-infused balm is organic and made with all natural ingredients, made with an essential oil blend with rosemary, chamomile, eucalyptus, arnica, tea tree, hemp, and vitamin E, a complete healing solution that eliminates the need of multiple products. Safe to use from head to toe on sensitive skin and for the entire family. Made and created to be stored at room temperature as well. So you don't want to, tuck this into the refrigerator or anything like that, or have it anywhere too hot. So shout out. Stop hitting the table being told, sorry. Shout out to this product and to this entrepreneur, the Green Canna Balm. So we appreciate that. Appreciate that new product. Like I said, I've tried it. It is great. So going from there, I did want to talk a little bit about some of the local organizations that are within, they're helping out within this 2020 vote, and they're making sure that your interests are being heard, especially if you are within the world of cannabis. If you're an entrepreneur, they're definitely helping you out there. So first and foremost is the organization Can I Work? I, kind of stumbled upon this organization on Instagram and ended up going to, was connected with the founder and the director, and was actually gifted some tickets to go to an event they recently had. It was a fantastic event. It was very inspirational, some great speakers, business owners, and entrepreneurs. And definitely give them a follow on Instagram. Can I Work? It is, it's a great resource for you, especially if you're looking into getting into the industry, especially for people of color and women of color. Through that, I did learn about Hemp Tours, which is a education and exploring service. And what they do is they, kind of do what I do, and they provide education. And this month they're focusing on CBD education and dropping little nuggets of knowledge. And they have a free Kickstart startup course about CBD. And you definitely want to jump right over to Hemp Tours. And on Instagram, it's just simply at Hemp Tours, and find that out. If it's a free Kickstart startup course, what's better than free? Nothing I can think of. And you're getting a great education as well. So check out those two. I also want to discuss Urbex. The Urbex is what you're going to find them under on Instagram. The Urbex is a great organization as well, ran and created by a couple of good friends, but I believe it's currently being ran by Savannah Riley at Sav Riley. And it's an organization that really is one that also provides the education and the resources that you need to being an entrepreneur, to understanding your rights within the industry, about equity and inclusion. So they're also an organization. And just tonight they had an event. So this episode was a little late to talk about it, but you definitely want to follow them on Instagram and find out about other, resources and virtual events. And once we get back to normal, in-person events that they'll be having. So those are a couple of organizations that I wanted to give a shout out to and say thank you for what you're doing here in the local area and what you're doing throughout California, and the footprint that you're living or leaving, excuse me, in cannabis, and how that's going to benefit so many of us. So you guys definitely want to go give them a follow, support them as well. So guys, that looks like that's about it. I don't really have anything more to talk about other than wanting to just say hi. Of course, talk about the things that are just super important right now. We have to be involved. The vote is super important. Don't be someone who says, I'm not at that stage in my life. If you are of voting age, you are at that stage. Okay. And it's super important, like I said, for you to be involved if you want to make a difference and if you want to see a difference. We've had a very tumultuous year. A lot of it we cannot control, and some of it we as a society we definitely can control, and we need to start working together to be able to do that. And the first step is in creating the right leadership, and we got to do that. So join the polls next month. I hope that you guys are staying sane with Mary Jane. I hope that you're staying well and staying healthy. I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight, and I'll see you soon.
Conversation, vertical, elation, stimulation, education. This is MenagewiththeMariJayneMaven. When we on the air, it's always a situation. Might talk about some litigation, might talk about some immigration, might talk about some politics, but never talking nonsense. Yes, we are in this vibe. Watch and listen, it's a vibe. Watch it while you getting high, or you can listen while you drive. Just don't forget to subscribe.
Roll up.